It's time for my final preseason conference championship predictions. We'll start with the ACC, where I've got Clemson, the favorites to win the conference, over Georgia Tech. Starting with Clemson, there's a reason they're favored to win this conference. A ton of returning production, a ton of future NFL guys all over this roster. The one thing to watch out for is how does Tom Allen fit into this defense, and how does the defense progress under him this season? I trust it'll happen pretty quickly, but that's where some growing pains could arise. And then with Georgia Tech, I just love them as a sleeper in this conference. I think they can make it happen. I trust them with their returning production and their style of play and their returning quarterback more than a Miami who struggled to win in November, more than a Louisville who has a lot to replace from last season, and more than an SMU that I think lost a bit too much on defense to be trusted this year. Picking the Big 12 is obviously extremely tough, but I'm going to rock with the Arizona State Sun Devils to go back-to-back. They added a bunch of key portal commits in key areas. They returned almost all of their production from last season outside of Cam Scadaboo, and their running back room has a high ceiling to replace him. I also really love this staff, and they kept the staff together. The continuity is great. Baylor also has great continuity. They ended last year on a 6-game winning streak. I really think the offense will be potent again, and I trust Dave Aranda to work some magic on defense. Definitely watch out for Texas Tech. They've got high potential, but so much potential volatility that could arise. Kansas State's always a sleeper here, but I'm rocking with Arizona State and Baylor. In the Big Ten, I've got Penn State making a return trip to the Big Ten title game, but this time coming out on top and beating Ohio State. The Nittany Lions have a very pleasant schedule that lines up really well for them to make a run. And for the Buckeyes, yes, they lose at 10. Yes, they've got to replace coordinators. It's just tough to bet against this team with how elite their roster still looks and how great their players still are. I think it'll come together. I don't see them taking the losses that would be required to miss the Big Ten title game. In the SEC, I've got Alabama winning an SEC title over LSU. A little bit outside of the box here, but I truly think the Crimson Tide have not only the talent roster to do it, but the fantastic coaching this year. I've talked time and time again about why I'm high on the Tide this year, but a lot of it just has to do with people underestimating the adverse set of circumstances in which Kalen DeBoer inherited last season. And then at LSU, this is me buying the defensive rebuild and buying that revamped offensive line. I think it's going to come together. They're going to be one of the surprise teams in college football this year, make a run to that SEC title game. In the American Conference, I've got Tulane and their superior talent roster beating South Florida in the American Conference title game. I think the Bulls overcome a tough non-conference schedule and do really well in conference play. I like Liberty to beat Louisiana Tech in the CUSA. It will be a bounce-back season for Liberty. Louisiana Tech, I think, will be a big surprise team out there under Sonny Cumbie. Toledo, looking great on paper, a ton of continuity. I think Jason Candle gets it done and beats a Buffalo team that looks really good and also has a ton of continuity and returning production. I like the Broncos to win the Mountain West again, but this time over San Jose State, who gets a really advantageous schedule. I look for the Beavs to win 2 games against Wazoo. I guess that's what it takes to win the Pac-12 this year. If they split, I don't know how they'll determine that. And then finally, I've got James Madison beating out Louisiana in the Sun Belt title game to be crowned as Sun Belt champions.